how many people are on. My phone's fairly far away from me. I also have my phone tilted sideways, and I read that that should work fine as long as you start the video in landscape mode. And so if this doesn't work this time, if you guys are viewing my video sideways, next time I do a class, I'll try to figure out how to get my phone in the right orientation so that you guys aren't watching the video on its side. I don't want to say too much before class really starts. Please, if you are on right now, leave me a comment. Let me know that you were here. I'd love to hear from you guys. I miss all my students. I miss teaching real life yoga and seeing people's beautiful faces. I know these are really challenging times, at least for me. I see a lot of silver lining posts. You know, I'm into that. I don't feel like I really need to tell everybody what the silver linings are. We all know what they are. We all know that we're getting to view our world through a whole new lens, which can be a really enlightening experience. It's also a very brutal experience. So, you know, I want you to know that I support you in feeling all the feels, not just the good feels. You don't have to proclaim your positivity right now. I know we're all going in and out of feeling like shit and feeling good. So, so here we are, and here I am teaching my first live class, which is super awkward. You guys can't see this, but I have my phone on some yoga blocks, and then I have it pointed so that I actually can't see the screen. It's the back of the phone that's facing me because that camera is way better. And then in front of that, like on the screen side, is a mirror so that I can kind of see myself in the reflection. So this is a really weird, whole new world for me. I've debated, there's lots of different accessories I could go and buy to be recording live classes and YouTube videos, and I'm just not willing to make the investment yet. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do it. Hopefully this doesn't last that long, but you know, you never know. So if you are on right now and you don't have any of your yoga stuff yet, if you've got any props that you want to use, yoga blocks. If you don't own yoga blocks, I would actually think that now's the time to go buy yourself some yoga blocks, because even when we do come back into classes, you might not feel comfortable using shared things anymore. So having your own yoga blocks along with your own yoga mat, along with your own yoga blanket and your own yoga strap might be the new norm. And you know, I can really see that happening. So you know, maybe go out there and get yourself some yoga blocks. They're not very expensive. They don't cost hardly anything. Should be able to make that investment for yourself. I do recommend getting the 4-inch yoga blocks, and then the foam yoga blocks are obviously really lightweight. They're a little bit less sturdy than the cork yoga blocks. Cork yoga blocks are slightly more expensive as well, and they're heavier. So you know, you can weigh out your choices there, see which one is going to be right for you. So I think we're inching closer to time. My clock is not on the wall over here, is not quite the same as my one on my phone, and right now I can't remember how different they are. So why don't you find your comfortable seated position. And my overarching theme for today and probably all these classes is, you know, come as you are. So how you are right exactly now, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's somewhere in between, just be here now in this space exactly as you're feeling. You don't have to try to feel a different way. You can really just dig into the feelings that you're having right now. And as we start to move through poses, maybe other feelings come up. Maybe you start to shift gears a bit. And I invite you to just stay present for that entire process. And, we all have emotions, we all have these feelings, and we really need to own them so that we can move on. We want, when this thing ends, we want it to really kind of end and be able to come out of it with this new sense of self, because things will not be the same. And if we're still kind of holding on and grabbing to the way things were, and we're unable to go through this process, I keep thinking of it as like a birth, It's painful, some parts of it are beautiful. We want it to end. But it's scary. It's scary to think of what the outcome's going to be when it is ended. We know we're going to have this beautiful life again, but we just don't know what that life is going to look like. And for me, it's just, birth is a huge metaphor for this. For this time. If you've ever given birth or you're a parent, you might be able to relate to that. So anyways, find a comfortable seated position where you can sit for a few minutes here, because we're going to sit and breathe and just be with ourselves for a moment. So any comfortable seated position will do, as long as you can sit up tall, close your eyes, and begin to notice yourself. So you don't have to change your breath yet. Just notice how you're breathing right now. And then nice and slowly, without pushing it, just begin to deepen your breath a little bit, lengthening your inhale and exhale. Continue to sit up tall. Tune into the energy that you have right now. Not as some like esoteric thing, but as like a real thing. What is the energy level that you have right now? Notice if that energy is manifesting as a sensation somewhere in your body. A tightness or a heaviness or a lightness somewhere in your body. A warmth or cold, tingling, numbing. Just notice where you have kind of a condensed feeling of sensation. And as you're deepening your breath, bring your breath there. And we'll shift into some belly breathing. So as you inhale, start to direct your breath first to the bottom of your lungs. Fill up, and then the middle of your lungs. Fill up, and then the top of your lungs. As you exhale, exhaling from the top of your lungs to the middle, to the bottom. And then inhale, expand once again, filling up your belly and your lower back, then your low ribs and the back of your low ribs, then your chest and your upper back. Feel your shoulders rise. As you exhale, Feel your shoulders fall back into place, your chest drop. And then even assist the exhale by pulling your navel, your belly button toward your spine and lifting it up toward the underneath of your ribs, just toning your belly slightly at the end of that exhale. And then inhale, soften your tummy again, expand in all directions. Not just the front and back of your body, but the sides of your waist and ribs, your pelvic floor, and the top of your shoulders. And then exhale, releasing first from the top of your lungs, top of your shoulders, upper back, chest, ribs, low ribs, belly, low back. Continue to direct your breath in this way. Breathing slowly, deeply through your nose on the inhale and the exhale. And as your mind wanders, let it go. Refocus on your breath. As your mind continues to bring things for you to see, things for you to notice, do notice. Notice the urgency of your thoughts. Notice the consistency of your thoughts and what they're trying to tell you. Notice if it serves you, if it's the truth, or if it's a lie. Notice if those thoughts and that inner dialogue are based in fear or in hope, in faith or in judgment. And just notice, don't try to fix. And as soon as you notice, come back to your breath. If you're familiar with Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breath, I invite you to shift gears into that now. Ujjayi breath is just a slight closure at the back of your throat, almost like you're whispering your inhale and exhale. It causes your breath to make a sound, it slows your breath. But belly breath is a perfectly good way to breathe during yoga. You can leave your hands as they are, or bring them together in front of your heart. If your hands are in front of your heart, press your thumbs into your heart and your heart into your thumbs, and just feel your chest rise. Lift your chest slightly, everyone. Tuck your chin, lengthen the back of your neck. And for a moment, bow to your heart. Continue with your deep breathing. We're going to take a deep inhale, and as we exhale, we'll sing the sound of Om. Inhale now. Start to open your eyes. If you do have props, just put them somewhere where they're going to be out of your way. And then we'll start with child's pose. Bring your big toes together, knees wide, and stretch your arms straight ahead. Rest your forehead on the floor. Reach your arms far enough ahead that your elbows And then start to engage your hands by pressing your fingertips and your thumb tips down. Lift the palm of your hands away from the ground so that your fingertips and thumb tips are just pressing down. And then do the opposite. Press your palms down, lift your fingers and thumbs. And we'll do that a few times to our breath. So as you inhale, press your fingertips down, lift your palms. And then exhale, press your palms down, lift your fingers. And keep going. Just waking up our wrists, our shoulders, our elbows even, our hands. Now staying low to the ground, walk your hands over to the right and your upper body, and then you're going to rest your forehead on the ground again and breathe. And now moving over to the left, same thing, stretch your arms away from you, rest your forehead on the ground. Come back to child's pose. Take a breath. And as you inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. Your hands a little wider than shoulder distance apart. Knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes. And then push your hands down and forward. Lift your hips in the air to come into downward facing dog with your knees bent. And then you're just going to walk in place. And as you're walking in place, you might feel the back of your legs start to open up a little bit more. You might start to straighten your knees a little bit more. Keep your head between your upper arms, ears in line with your inner arms. Continue to press the floor away from you with your hands, pressing your fingertips down into the ground. Now bring your knees down to the floor. Keep your toes tucked underneath your feet. And if you can, you're going to sit on your heels. If that's too much, like the bottom of your feet are freaking out, you might stand on your knees instead, and you'll probably still be getting a stretch at the back or on the bottom of your feet. Now from here, take your right arm out in front of you and just cross it across your heart. Take your left arm, you're just going to pull that arm in. And then bring your left ear towards your left shoulder and breathe. Now, like I said, you could be doing this while standing on your knees. You can kind of come in and out of sitting on your heels too. Like you can build up. If it's too much, stand back up on your knees. If it starts to feel good again, sit back down on your heels. One more breath. And then bring your head up. And release your arms. Take your left arm across your heart. Use your right arm to pull that arm closer to you. Take your right ear to your right shoulder and just breathe. This is a huge stretch for the bottom of your feet. Nice stretch for your shoulders and neck. This pose is commonly called broken toe pose. So pretty accurate feeling description. And one more breath. All right, bring your head up and take your arm down. Let's go back to that quadruped position and take a moment and just tap out the top of your feet on the floor. Okay, take your knees hip distance apart, and as you inhale, reach your right arm out and up and look up. Turn your chest entirely to the right. As you exhale, reach your right arm underneath you between the space in your arm and knee to the left. And then we're going to keep going. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Reach underneath you. To your own breath. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, reach up. This time, press your left hand down and toward the left to help you twist open more. One more breath if you can, look up. And then bring your right hand down. Left side, inhale, reach out and up. Turn your entire chest to the left. As you exhale, reach underneath you to the right. And then we'll keep going. Inhaling to open up. Exhaling to reach underneath you. You could be moving at your own pace, your own breath. Make sure the hand that supports you, keep pressing your fingertips and thumb down. This will help take some of the pressure out of your wrist, especially if you're new to yoga. That might be one of the first things that you notice as far as discomfort goes, is your wrists get really sore. I promise your wrists will get stronger, but you have to use your hands properly. Press your fingertips and thumb tips down. Press into the thumb side of your hand. Okay, two more. Inhaling deeply to open up. Exhale, reach underneath you. This time you're going to inhale, open up, and stay open. Take a deep breath. Press your right hand down into the right to help you twist. And then bring your left hand down. Back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Push back. You can have your knees bent in down dog, especially if you feel a lot of tension in your hamstrings or your calves. Press your hands down and forward. Feet hip distance apart. One more deep inhale and exhale here. Bend your knees. Walk your hands back towards your feet, and as you do, push the floor away from you with your hands. Keep your knees fairly bent so that you can have your fingertips on the floor. Inhale, lift your belly, your chest, look forward, lift your butt up behind you. And as you exhale, fold over your legs. We'll do that a few times. Inhaling up to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold to Uttanasana. And keep going. Inhaling to lift, halfway lift your belly, your chest, your head, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. One more just like that. And fold. This time we're going to stand all the way up. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Press off your feet as you stand up. Bring your palms together overhead and look up. Exhale, come to Tadasana, mountain pose. Arms at your sides, lift your knees, squeeze the bottom tip of your shoulder blades together. Inhale, turn your palms out as you reach up. Bring your palms together overhead, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, bend your knees, lift your butt as your head comes down. Fold forward over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, walk your hands forward into plank pose this time. Inhale and plank. Exhale, slowly lower, bringing first your
Knees down, then your thighs. Then bend your elbows as you go, then your belly, your heart, and your forehead. Flip your feet so your toenails are on the ground. Inhale, lift your head, pull your collarbones open, shoulders down. Exhale, press off your hands and knees, tuck your toes. Down dog. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, walk forward to standing forward bend, Uttanasana, feet hip distance. Inhale, lift halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach out and up, coming all the way up to standing with your palms overhead, Urdhva Namastarasana. Exhale, arms at your sides for Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. As your head comes down, your butt lifts. Inhale, lift from your belly, look forward, Ardha. Exhale, step back, plank again. And pause, look forward. Lift from your upper back toward the ceiling. Lift your belly, tuck your tail. One more breath. And then slowly lower, knees down for kneeling plank. And then thighs, bend your elbows, hug them in. Slide all the way to the ground. Forehead down. Now flip your feet so the top of your feet are on the ground. Inhale, cobra. Baby cobra. Exhale, down dog. Take a deep breath. Take one more deep breath here. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk toward the top of your mat. Feet hip distance. If you have trouble walking forward, walk with your feet out wide. Inhale, lift halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach out and up. As you stand up, bring your palms together overhead. Exhale, return to mountain pose. All right, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, down dog. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Start to walk forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Tadasana. Okay, let's do tree pose. So if you need to, find a wall or even go grab a chair for you to put your hand on for balance. You would have your left hand on the, well actually it won't matter since it's tree. Bring both of your hands to your hips otherwise, bend your knees slightly, and turn your right foot out. Now bring your right foot either to your ankle, your calf, or grab for your ankle and place it on, or place your foot on your inner thigh. Now, get your balance. So if you don't have your balance and you're trying to do this hardest expression of the pose, then, I guess that's fine. It's up to you, but sometimes it's nice to build balance in a place where we can actually harness our strength. So foot to ankle, foot to calf is a great position. Pull your left hip in and stand as tall as you can like you were in Tadasana, in mountain pose. If you have your balance here, you're going to bring your hands together in front of your heart to the breath. If you have your balance there, bring your arms up. Okay, either hands shoulder distance apart or palms together. One more deep breath, get taller. And bring your arms down and bring your right foot down. Turn your left foot out. And again, either put your foot on your ankle, foot to calf, or reach down, grab for your ankle, and put your foot and thigh onto each other. And you've got to squeeze your foot and thigh into each other. Take a breath. And then either hands to heart, take a breath. Or if you get that, raise your arms up, either hands shoulder distance or palms together. Nice deep inhale and exhale here in Vrksasana, tree pose. And bring your arms down and bring your foot down. Keep your feet together. Sit back and down as you reach your arms up for everybody's favorite pose, Utkatasana, chair pose. Now, press your heels down and shift your weight back so that you can see your toes. Now, bring your hands together in front of your heart. We're going to do a few twists in this position. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, twist toward the right, bringing your left elbow onto or beyond your left knee, and then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. And then inhale, come back. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back. Exhale, twist. So if this is fairly easy for you, you might be going inhale, exhale. Inhale, stretch your arms forward. Exhale, twist. But if this is very difficult, just keep your hands in front of your heart and twist. It's supposed to be hard, so if it's difficult for you, congratulations. You don't get stronger by doing things that are easy, right? One more breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Reach your arms forward and up as high as you can. Sink a little lower. And then press into your heels to stand up. Bring your arms to your sides. Stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale, bend your knees slightly. Exhale, step your right foot back. Step back far, bring your right knee down. Now this might be a place where you have a block. If you have a block, you're going to place it underneath your right hand. You put your right hand underneath your shoulder, left hand on your left thigh, and start to turn the right side of your chest more to the left. And this will be our first twist in our lunge. Turn your head, twist your neck, and look up and breathe. So the hand that's on the floor, sort of supporting you a little bit, support it by pressing your fingertips and your thumb tips down. Step more into the big toe side of your foot. And you're going to squeeze your left sitting bone in towards your right inner thigh. Good, take another breath. Okay, keep your right hand on the ground. Push into your hand and your left foot and then lift your right knee up. Start to rotate your right foot so that your right inner edge of your foot comes to the ground. And you're going to twist all the way open into Warrior Two pose. Now your front knee directly over your ankle. Step more into the pinky side edge of your foot. Even start to push your left knee out to the left a little bit. Right leg is completely straight. Right back of your foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Take another deep breath. Now start to turn your back foot, your right foot in a little bit. We're going to transition to Warrior One. Turn your heart forward. Keep your knee bent over your ankle. Now reach your arms up. Now there's a little twist here. Turn the right side of your chest more forward. If you really like the back bend aspect of this pose, you can lean back more. Make sure that you're breathing deeply. Check that voice in your head. Remember, you're coming as you are. You're here now exactly as you are, in the struggle, in your body, in this moment now. Good. Take another breath. Awesome. So you're going to come up onto the ball of your back foot. Keep your back heel lifted over the ball of your foot. Bring your right hand to your left outer thigh. Reach your left hand back behind you. If you can, you're going to look back at your left thumb. Once again, squeeze your sitting bone towards your right inner thigh. Last breath, back leg is super straight and strong. Look down. Place your hands down on the inside of your left foot and step back to plank. Take a deep inhale in plank pose and then slowly lower to the ground. Nice and slow. As you lower, hug your elbows in. Flip your feet so the top of your feet are on the floor. Inhale, lift from your chest, your belly, look forward. Elbows hug in as you push back, down dog. 3 deep breaths. Reconnect with your energy, how you're feeling now. Reconnect with your deep inhale and exhale. Bend your knees, look forward. Start to walk forward toward the back of your hands. Remember, walk out wide, feet wide if it's hard for you to walk forward. And then bring your feet back underneath your hips. Inhale, lift from your belly, lift your chest, look forward for Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, fold for Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, press off of your heels as you stand all the way up. Bring your palms together overhead for upward salute. And then exhale, bring your arms to your sides. And we start the process again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, bend your knees slightly. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot back this time. Stepping back to high lunge for a moment. And then slowly lower your left knee to the ground. If you have sensitive knees, using a blanket underneath your knees or a pillow, anything that you have to pad your knee will be good. And now lean forward, place your left hand on the ground underneath your left shoulder. Place your right hand on your right thigh above your knee. And then start to turn your chest as much as you can. You can even use your left hand pressing down and toward the left to help you turn the left side of your heart towards your right inner thigh. And then hold here, breathing. If you can, if you have the range of motion in your neck, if it doesn't hurt, you're going to turn your head, look up. Take another breath. Now turn your chest so that you're looking down again. Press into your right foot, left hand, and then push down in the ball of your back foot. Start to rotate that foot so the inner edge comes down, and then your whole foot comes down, parallel to the back of your mat, slowly coming up to warrior two position. Okay? So your pelvis and your chest are parallel with the long edge of your mat. Front knee directly over your ankle. You should be able to look down and see your own big toe. Keep your back leg super straight and then stretch your arms apart. Look over your front fingertips. Two more deep breaths. Start to rotate your chest forward. As you do, turn your back foot in so that you come into warrior one. So back foot is now diagonal to the back of your mat. Front knee still over your ankle. Reach your arms up. And breathe. Turn a lot from that left side of your chest moving forward. And again, if you like the back bend, you can lean back more. But make sure you can still breathe here. One more nice deep breath. Arms are super straight, elbows straight, fingers are just as alive as your feet. Every part of you has some awareness. Very slowly, you're going to turn your back foot, so now you're on the ball of your foot. Lift your heel up high over the ball of your foot. Keep your front knee over your ankle. And then take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and push them into each other. Reach your right arm back behind you. If you have your balance, you're going to turn your head and look at your right thumb. Take another breath. And turn your head, look down. Place your hands at the inside of your right foot so you can step back slightly easier to plank pose. And take a breath in plank. Lift from your upper back, lift your belly, tuck your tail, and slowly lower all the way to the ground. Knees down, thighs, elbows hug in and bend. Come all the way, forehead to the floor. Flip your feet, hug your elbows in. Inhale, lift your belly, your chest. Look forward for cobra. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, reach out and up as you stand. Exhale, bring your arms to your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, bend your knees slightly. Exhale, step your right foot back to high lunge. Back heel is lifted above the ball of your back foot. Take your feet wide apart. So the distance between your front back heel and your toes should be at least as long as one of your own legs. Okay? Front thigh getting close to parallel to the floor one day maybe. Hands in front of your heart. So this is the same twist that we did in Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Hook your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, and then move your hands so that your wrists are in line with your elbows. If this is too hard, back knee on the ground is a nice modification. Breathe deeply here. You might be able to turn your head and look up. And take another breath. So open up to warrior 2. You're going to turn toward the floor, then to the right, back foot comes down, reach out to the sides, look over your front fingertips. Turn your chest forward, turn your back toes in, warrior 1. Really squeeze this left sitting bone in towards your right inner thigh, so your butt's now out to the side. And now start to straighten your left leg. And hop your back foot in, actually quite a bit. You really need to shorten your stance for this one. This is a revolved triangle pose. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward. You can go ahead and actually let your right arm come down. Take a deep inhale, stretch up, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. And as you exhale, fold forward. You might start to have to bend your left knee. If you have a block, you're going to place your right hand on the block. Otherwise, right fingertips to the ground. For a moment, take your left hand to your left hip and just push it back. Squeeze your inner thighs into each other. Turn your chest more to the left. Pull your left shoulder blade in towards your spine. And then straighten your left arm reaching up. So revolve triangle pose. And if you can now, you're going to turn your head and look up and breathe. A deeper variation here, if you want it, would be to bring your hand to the outside of your left foot. Now this is a difficult, challenging for your balance pose. And a lot of times our butt is totally sticking out to the side when we try to do this. I want you to really practice that squeezing of your left sitting bone in towards your right inner thigh. Squeeze your inner thighs into each other. One more breath. Bend your left knee. Bring both hands down. This time step straight back to down dog and take a deep breath. And 2 more just like that. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. As you exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, reach out and up as you stand. Exhale, bring your arms to your sides. Take your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step your left foot back for high lunge. So step back far. Challenge yourself here. If you know you're going to do the knee on the ground variation, you can already be there. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right, and then start to lean forward. Hook your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh. Push your knee and your elbow into each other and twist. Keep your back leg straight. Keep your back heel over the ball of your back foot. And breathe. Squeeze your right sitting bone in towards your left inner thigh. You might be able to turn your head and look up. If you don't know where your sitting bones are, imagine if you were sitting on the floor, because you'd be sitting on your sitting bones. So from that spot, pull in towards your left inner thigh. Last breath here in the twist. Nice and slow with grace. If you fall, fall gracefully. Open up, warrior 2. Okay, and then pause here, looking over your front fingertips. Breathe. One more long, slow breath here. And start to turn your back toes in. Turn your chest forward for warrior 1. Okay, turn the left side of your chest, your heart more forward. Try to line your heart up with your big toe. It's 11:11 on my clock, yay! Take another breath. And begin to straighten your right leg. You can drop that left arm and hop your back foot in. If this is new to you, if you haven't done yoga before, and you're like, holy shit, my arms, yeah. So it takes a lot to hold your arms up. You're right, we don't lift weights, we don't like hit the gym a lot of times, but we do use our own body weight a lot in yoga, and it's very difficult. Pull your right hip back, your left hip forward, and then squeeze your inner thighs together so that your legs stay in this orientation. Both legs super straight. Take a deep inhale, stretch up. And as you exhale, start to fold forward. Now, as you fold forward, you might feel like, ooh, I have to bend my knee. If you're double jointed in your knees, if your knees tend to kind of go back, then you're gonna bend your knee more. Place your left hand on the ground, underneath your left shoulder. Put your right hand on your right hip. And then pull that right hip back, because most likely it kind of snuck forward. Once again, squeeze your sitting bones towards each other. Turn your chest to the right. And if you're trying to save your shoulders, if you have a shoulder injury and this is aggravating it, hands on hips is always a good option, or reach your right arm up. Press your left hand down into the ground, or your block even. You might be up here, which is much easier to breathe and to even do the pose. Makes the pose much more accessible, which is a positive thing. So you can still press your hand down and kind of move it toward the left to help you twist. Pull your right sitting bone in. Prioritize it. Make it a part of your to-do list. One more breath. Start to bend your right knee. And step back to down dog. And breathe. And take another deep breath. Fill yourself up completely. And bend your knees, look forward, and start your walk forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, reach out and up to come all the way up. Exhale, bring your arms to your sides. And let's sit down, yay. I really prefer to sit on yoga blocks or yoga blankets to elevate my hips. This just makes it so that these seated poses that we're about to get into are much easier to do and more, like I said, accessible, which is a positive thing. It's not cheating. You're not doing less by sitting on blocks or sitting on something, pillows, blankets. If you can make the pose work for you, then that's what you want to do. Take your legs out to the side. They don't have to be too wide. Don't go as wide as you can here. Just, wide. And we'll do some variations on Upavishta Konasana, wide-legged forward bend. Pull your toes back toward your shins. And I mentioned this before. If you are a hyperextender, if you are what's called double jointed in your knees, like when you straighten your legs, your knees go down and your heels lift, then I actually want you to keep your knees a little bit bent, okay? If this is too much for your knees, to have your legs out straight, grab some blankets or pillows for underneath your knees to support them. Inhale, reach your arms up. Stretch up, pull your low ribs in, and then exhale, turn toward the right and fold over your right leg. Let your hands land wherever they land, and then bring your head down. Inhale, lift halfway up, kind of like Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, now fold as deeply as you can. But keep your legs engaged. Keep your heels pressing forward and toes pulling back towards your shin. Relax the sides of your neck and your shoulders. If you're reaching really far with your arms, stop doing that. It's not necessary. Let your shoulders relax. Let your arms relax. And as your breath starts to slow down, smooth it out. As we get quieter, the voice inside your head might become louder. Just like I said, notice it. Don't try to fix it. Come back to your breath. One more deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, sit all the way up. And for a moment, just pause. Close your eyes, take a breath. Make your legs strong again. Push your heels forward, flex your toes back if you need to bend your knees slightly. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, turn towards your left leg and fold. Bring your hands to the floor wherever they land. Fold all the way. When you inhale next, lift halfway up, turn a little bit more. And then exhale, fold down completely. Relax your shoulders, let your head hang. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, sit all the way up. Once again, pause. My phone is telling me something. Low battery. I'm gonna just plug it in so I don't lose you guys. Okay, Baddha Konasana, bring the bottom of your feet together, knees out wide. And actually, let's do this other variation. It's kind of like Baddha Konasana, but you actually take your feet forward more so that when you look down in the space between your legs, it's more like a diamond shape. And your feet don't have to be together in this variation. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands down. Inhale, lift halfway. And then exhale, fold all the way. Relax your shoulders. Let your upper back round. And then let your head hang as much as you can, which is actually fairly hard to do for most of us. So soften your neck muscles and your shoulder muscles and really let the weight of your head put some traction on your spine here. Take 2 more deep breaths. And lift your head. And then slowly start to sit up. Okay, if you've got props, move them away from you so that they are out of your way. Lay down on your back. And place your feet on the floor directly behind your hips, toes facing straight ahead, arms at your sides. Press down into the big toe side of your feet and squeeze your inner thighs towards each other without bringing your knees any closer to each other. So your knees stay in line with your hips. You just engage your inner thighs isometrically, so make the muscles engage. Now press down into your feet, tuck your tailbone up toward the back of your knees, feel your butt and your hamstrings engage, and then start to lift your hips. Either hold onto the edges of your mat and try to rip it apart, or roll your shoulders underneath you, everyone, any hand variation. So even if you're holding onto the edges of your mat, and then clasp your hands together underneath you like you're holding your own hands, like you're best friends with yourself. We're trying, right? Press into the big toe side of your foot more. Tuck your tailbone more. Lift your pelvis higher. Lift your low ribs higher. Lift your chin away from your chest. For Dvipada Sarvangasana variation, bridge pose. Breathe. Take 4 more deep breaths. Now continue to be aware of your inner thighs engaging. Press your heels down. Pull them back toward your fingers. Feel your hamstrings engage more. Your butt. When your inner thighs squeeze together, your pelvic floor engages. Breathe deeply. This is, again, it's supposed to be difficult. And take 1 more long, slow breath. Release your hands out from underneath you and slowly come back onto your back. And then just move your knees from side to side. And let everything that bubbles up to the surface, just let it be that. Let it be a bubble, let it burst, and then it's gone. Okay? We're going to do bridge pose one more time. If you have a hard time interlacing your fingers underneath your back, if your elbows won't straighten when you do that, then don't do that. Please hold on to the edges of your mat instead and try to rip it apart. Once again, take your feet hip distance apart, your heels fairly close to your butt, toes facing straight ahead so your feet are parallel with one another, knees in line with your hips. Press down into the big toe side of your feet, tuck your tailbone, lift your pelvis. Interlace your fingers, this time with the opposite fingers on top if you're doing that arm variation, and then roll your upper arms underneath you no matter how your hands are. Now once again, make your inner thighs strong, tuck your tailbone. Draw your low ribs in even as you lift your chest up. Lift your chin away from your chest and breathe here in bridge pose, 5 deep breaths. So you can get into your hamstrings a little bit more by pressing your feet down and pulling your heels back towards your knuckles, your fingers, or your shoulders if your hands are out wide. And we want that strong engagement of our back side to help solidify and strengthen our back, which actually, you don't really want a solid back. You want a fluid and malleable back. You want your back to be able to move in all directions. So we got to strengthen those muscles so they can pull us in all the different ways that they're meant to. One more breath. Release your hands and slowly come down onto your back. Once again, the windshield wiper your knees just back and forth. Okay, and then stretch out your legs. If your lower back is not that happy right now, you might press your feet, bend your knees, press your feet down, slide your hands underneath your butt with your palms down, and that will just elevate your hips a little bit and make your low back a little more happy. Otherwise, you might take blankets underneath your knees, and that can also help. We're headed to Shavasana land. Close your eyes. Let your deep breathing go. Arguably, the most important pose that we practice is the pose of rest. So just letting your nervous system now catch up with all the different ways in which you moved your body and thought your thoughts and breathed your breath and experienced yourself. Now just giving it all away. Letting it all go, accepting what happened, releasing what happened, letting the wisdom of your practice work its magic. Become aware of your breath again. Feel your body supported by the floor. The temperature of the room. The feeling of your clothes if you're wearing any. The weight of your head on the floor. The light coming through your eyelids. The sounds. The smells. When you're ready, you might start to bring some movement back to your body. You could also just lay down for the whole rest of this class. Do some ankle circles, wrist circles, really whatever way you like to come up out of Shavasana. Spread your fingers, spread your toes, open and close your mouth. Move your head from side to side. If there's any bigger stretches that your body is asking of you, you could do those. And then take your time in the next couple breaths, find your way back up to some sort of comfortable seated position where you can sit up tall with your eyes closed. The idea of having a class that's themed Come As You Are is to really illustrate the fact that we're always changing, even from moment to moment, from the beginning of yoga class to the end of yoga class, where we were in the middle of it. You're always in flux, just like our life outside of ourselves, our internal world operates the same way. And so we have our highs and we have our lows, and we have everything in between. We need to make space for ourselves to allow all of that stuff to be a part of who we are. Not try to push any of it away or be ashamed of any of it. That it's all just us. And we're all the same. In honor of each other in this practice we call yoga, and the ways in which we study ourselves and sit with ourselves and really see ourselves, let's have a final Om. You can leave your hands where they are, bring them together in front of your heart. If your hands are in front of your heart, press your thumbs into your heart and your heart into your thumbs. Bow your head slightly toward your heart. Take a deep inhale. Thank you so much for those of you that took my very first Facebook Live class. I hope it wasn't a complete disaster. I'm not sure. I'm about to find out. So we'll see. Thank you again. I really appreciate it, and I miss you all so much. Namaste.